now move to Amendment 9. This is proposed by Fran Wendelbaum.
Fran,
Fran, are you here?
she's here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and congratulations, Mr. Chairman, rather.
Thank you.
My amendment, you know, if I take you back a while ago, when we had a vacancy in the chair, we used to call a special meeting, and those are expensive, $2,000 or $3,000. So the solution at that time was, let's just make it automatically that the vice chair would become chair. And I don't think anybody thought it would happen that often, but it's happened way too often, and it should be. What my amendment simply does is say, when and if that happens, that the vice chairman stepping up would not finish the term, but would only be until the next full regular state committee meeting, where they would hold an election. And they could then elect the vice chairman in full to the chairmanship, or somebody else might want to run for the remainder of that term. If you think about it, when the vice chairman steps up to chairman, you then get a vice chairman that's only elected by the executive board. So it possibly is somebody who you never got to vote for. So then you have somebody as chairman who you didn't vote for to be chairman, and you have a vice chairman who you didn't vote for to be vice chairman, to chairman. So this just simply says that it'll be done at the next full regular meeting. We won't go through the cost of calling for a special election. We would just do it. Let's say, for example, that Steve is crossing the street and gets run over by a bus in a week.
Thanks, Fran.
Yeah. I thought of some more interesting scenarios, but you know, unfortunate as it may be, a week in we would have a vice chairman. And to be honest with you, some people run for vice chairman because they don't have the time to be chairman, or the finances, or family obligations for them to give the amount of time that a chairman takes. So just automatically rubber stamping the vice chairman automatically becomes the chair for the rest of the term, which could be almost 2 full years. I don't think makes a lot of sense. I think the next time we meet in complete full committee, that we would then vote for that person in their full right and let them be challenged if somebody else wants to be chair as well. So thank you.
Thank you. At this point, I will tell you that this was recommended with an amendment by the Bylaws Committee and voted not recommended by the E-Board. So we have a split decision on this. Further speakers?
Bill Smith Atkinson, this seems like a practical good idea based on experience, as Fran described. It is a big job to be chairman, and I congratulate you and thank you for your willingness and ability to serve. God bless you. The vice chairman, as Fran said, is often somebody who has other responsibilities, who may not be up to serving a full term as chairman, but could fill in temporarily. And this puts a different structure in place where that vice chairman is not obligated to serve the whole remaining term if the chairman leaves, but only for a temporary. And I think that's very good. And I want to thank Wayne McDonald for filling in. And I understand he had his day job, and it's a big deal to have to fill in for a long time. And I want to again thank Wayne. He came over to my house once around 2000 and sat in my living room just to deliver some poll watching materials when he was Rockingham chairman. He's been doing this a long time, and I thank our vice chairman and I thank our chairman. God bless you all.
Well, hello again.
Hello, Tammy.
Hello. So, just clarification, the vice chair of the state GOP was elected by this body. Pam Tucker was elected by this body. She ran as vice chair. Guess what vice chair means? You're the backup chairman. This is no secret. If you don't want to fill out a term, and if that should happen, then don't run for vice chair. People that need to step up need to be committed to filling out the role that they're stepping up for. Vice chair is the backup chair. They act in the chair's absence. They replace the chair if the chair should happen to be no longer chair. Additionally, Let's think this through. Mary Jo is the vice chair, or Pam and Steve. Pam's the vice chair, Steve's the chair. Steve decides he has to take a job or something, or whatever, and he says, I'm going to give up my seat. Pam now becomes the acting chair, right, for the rest of the duration. Under this amendment, we'd have a new election, and we elect, Mary Jo. What happens to the person who ran for vice chair? Bye-bye now, you're out. No, she wouldn't still be vice chair. She had to give up vice chair to become the chair. So, yeah, vote no.
Next speaker.
Alan Glassman. As most of you most know, I was the vice chairman, and I was elected by the E-Board to fill the vacant seat when Wayne became the chairman. My feeling is that when the E-Board is doing an election of someone, they have their own vetting process as well. I happen to be the only person who actually decided to run for that seat. The E-Board had the option of saying, no, Glassman, you're not qualified to be the vice chair because you're not qualified to be the chairman. They chose not to do that. I think that we need to give credit to the E-Board to decide whether someone elected from within is capable of taking on the responsibility of the chairman if that were to come to pass. I had already warned Wayne on a couple of occasions to drive carefully, and he did. So that's what I have to say about it. I am opposed to this amendment.
Thank you. Further speakers?
There are no other further signed up speakers, sir.
I'll entertain a motion.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I know that you're supposed to sign up in advance to speak, but I don't know, before any of this stuff is discussed, what is going to be brought up and what I want to support or speak against. So being told that I cannot speak in opposition to a point that was made by another speaker, I think is patently false.
We set rules, and I hate to say this, but you are out of order, and if I make one exception, then I have to make everybody an
I
exception.
will remind all my friends with ESP to attend the meeting next year.
Thank you.
Question's been called, sir.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of passing this amendment, and we need a 2/3 vote, please stand with your credentials held high. The chair has determined that not 2/3 of the body is standing, and this amendment fails.
GOP TV.